Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
In Louisiana, the small community of Port Allen is shaken after a shooting at a high school football game leaves one dead and one injured and a suspect yet to be in custody. In California, an equestrian is behind bars after attempting to hire a hitman to kill her husband for a large life insurance policy. And in Texas, a gunman who killed a student at TCU makes a startling claim regarding the killing. These stories and more coming at you today, Wednesday, September 6th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino. Hey, guys.
What's up, boys?
How we doing?
Great.
Doing good, man.
Have we recovered from our LSU fucking hangovers?
I'm still recovering from the hangover and the game, I guess.
Yeah, I don't ever recover from an LSU loss, I don't think.
I hope,
It always sticks
hope that
back
team
there.
freaking recovers.
God,
Me
yeah.
too.
Well, I learned something over the last couple of days. Actually, I need to go on the Guinness site and see, because this might be a record.
All right.
Do you think anyone else would have ever had sex with 3 dogs on top of them while it was going on? Is that? You think anyone else has established that record?
Yeah. If they have, I'm pretty sure
At a point,
they haven't recorded
At a
it.
point, the puppy was biting my freaking ear.
Oh, my God. Well, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Something's got to change.
I did have
around my house.
back in the early 90s when I was doing the private PI business. I put cameras in this guy's house, and his wife was home. Her boss snuck in the back door. I didn't know what it was. This cameras didn't have sound and stuff, but they had these 2 big dogs. Anyway, I was watching it afterwards, and they're on the couch doing it, and the dogs are coming up and sniffing her ass and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking nasty.
It's crazy. I was with a girl once. I was about to say dated, but no, I was with a girl once that in the middle of fooling around, she whistled and her bird came flying into this big ass fucking
God.
bird comes flying into the into her bedroom, and it lands on her hand. And she says to me, I can do something with my bird that, I don't think anybody you've ever seen. I'm like, well, what can you do with your bird? And she starts taking her pinky and she starts going like this to the bird, just with her pinky and the bird. The bird starts going,
Puffing out like a turkey.
bumping up his feathers everywhere. And the bird
was
let
getting
one
off.
go on her hand in front of me. And that was the foreplay for that session. Was
There you go.
the,
That's
what
disturbing.
was the bird's name again?
Killer.
Chelsea the bird. It was Chelsea.
Oh, Lord, you remember that.
I can't believe I remember Chelsea's name. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
I don't know why I got into that. I was going to tell you what my wife's solution to all this was,
It was.
which probably also never happened. Is she said, maybe I can get a roofie prescription.
They don't even make those anymore.
Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. You want to get a date rape drug so that you can take it and you can be asleep and still get your sleep, and Mike gets to have sex. Yeah. What do you think of that? I'm like, no, I don't think that. I don't even know if that's legal, but I no, that doesn't. You have to participate,
Right?
and this is a
my God.
this is a participatory sport. So so
Lord,
we're still looking for solutions.
Warm mouth of agar. There we go.
Yeah,
All
it takes all the fun out of it when it's just one person.
Yeah, I imagine.
Maybe you
it
could get like
does.
some strings tied to her hand.
I've actually found it can be fun with just one
strings
person.
tied to her hand, tied to your foot, so you can make it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I could get things to give her some body motion. I hadn't thought about that.
We're way out left field.
Maybe there's some AI that can
Let's
help with
get
that.
to some crime time for Wednesday.
All right, then.
We love all y'all.
Look, we're going to start off with a tough one.
Yes.
We've already brought you one of these either last episode or the episode before, but these shootings at these high school football games are becoming more and more prevalent. And it really touched right here close to home. A 16-year-old has died and a 28-year-old was injured after a shooting at Port Allen High School on Friday night. The shooting took place outside the stadium at Port Allen versus Bruley, which was called off shortly after the violence erupted. And for those that may not be familiar, Port Allen is right outside of the capital city of Baton Rouge.
And Bruley's right
here
there.
in Louisiana.
Bruley's touching it.
Yeah, they're kind of rivals, I guess you could say, on that west side of Baton Rouge. And the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office identified the victims as 16-year-old Jacoby Queen, a Bruley student, and 28-year-old Bracia Davis of Port Allen. Officials ended the game at halftime as police and medics flooded the area, directing people away from that scene. Queen had been shot in the head and passed away at a local hospital. Davis suffered a gunshot wound to the arm. The violence happened at what is called the West Side Showdown, a non-conference game that was the season opener for each team. The aftermath of the incident could be seen on a live stream of the game from Cox Sports. The broadcast showed crowds leaving while emergency lights flashed in the background. The West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office has issued an arrest warrant for a teen in connection to that double shooting. He is known as Jerriton Jackson II, 18. He is wanted for second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder, and he is still on the loose as of this recording. So, hopefully they'll be able to capture this young man, but a young man shooting another young man and a relatively young adult right there at a football game on Friday night. And I know all of us here have had kids that play football and things like that. And you go to these games and it's just a beautiful thing. And what in the hell is going on?
Did that happen at halftime or when did the shooting happen?
It was at halftime. It was,
those communities literally are almost touching. And the story that we did on the cop pursuit chase where the cop ran the intersection and killed those teens? Mm-hmm. That's where the same community. Mm-hmm. So that community is suffering so bad.
Yes.
Prayers for all of them, y'all. That's crazy and senseless violence.
Was that one individual targeted, or it was they
hadn't said yet.
They hadn't said, and I'm sure they probably know a little bit more, obviously, than what they're saying. One thing we've learned covering all this is they keep as much information close to their vest as possible. But I would say they probably knew each other. This is probably, I don't want to speculate, but it was probably something that stemmed from a prior incident somewhere.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hearts go out to them. Prayers for that community. All right. Take you to another one, y'all. And this one I'm going to put up on TikTok and do a little short story on it, but it's really bizarre. But we've getting more and more of these, like the one that you did from the islands with the orange.
That I've done 17 stories on, Woody.
Yes, I'm sorry. I keep bashing. All right. So take you to Cali. A California equestrian is behind bars after after she tried multiple times to hire hitmen to kill her estranged husband. According to San Diego County Sheriff's Department, Tatiana Remley is charged with Boom, Jim. Tatiana Remley is charged with solicitation of murder and 2 weapons charges. Remley, 42, allegedly met with an undercover officer last month and offered to hire him to kill her husband, Mark Remley. Remley is currently being held without bail, and she has pled not guilty to all charges. The Sheriff's Department said it launched an investigation into her suspicious activity after a house fire at the ranch belonging to her and her husband in Del Mar, California, an affluent area along the Pacific north of San Diego. Her husband claimed Two, that Remley intentionally set fire to the home after he allegedly found out she was trying to kill him in early July. In divorce papers she filed in July, Remley says she and a friend were present at the time of the fire, but she was unaware of how it started. Remley's husband claims she offered a mutual friend of theirs $2 million to kill him, but that the friend declined and then informed her husband. Mark then told police, who launched the sting operation. In their statement, the sheriff's office confirmed they called an arson unit to the scene of the fire and that Remley was first arrested that day for alleged firearms-related offenses after our officers found 3 firearms and ammunition on her. The next day, the sheriff's department opened an investigation into her alleged murder for hire plot. After receiving information, Remley was attempting to hire someone to kill her estranged husband. A month later, the meeting with the undercover officer took place, according to the sheriff's department, and she provided detailed information on how she wanted her husband killed and his body disposed. The sheriff's department said that in a statement, y'all. It said Remley brought 3 additional firearms and U.S. currency as a down payment for the murder. The meetup and ensuing arrest took place at a local Starbucks. Local news outlet Coast News has long reported on Remley's high-profile business failures. In 2012, the Remleys ran a short-lived equestrian acrobatics show that the couple discontinued after 4 shows and more than $100,000 of investments. The Remleys claimed the show was canceled because of poor ticket sales. The couple's decision left dozens of performers unpaid and stranded alone with their horses, and some of the crew upended their lives to travel across the country to join the production, which had originally been planned for a 5-city tour. The Remleys married in 2011, and according to the Coast News, they have had a tumultuous relationship in recent years involving numerous separations and reconciliations, and she's going to be back in court on October 16th. But y'all, you hear these stories and you think about things, and I have been so graciously provided by my partners with these pictures of this lady, and I don't generally do the lookism, but she's smoking hot. And one of the pictures, I'm gonna do it on TikTok. She's in front of an all-black Ferrari.
Yeah, and that that's right by the racetrack, Del Mar racetrack. So it's.
You think that was her car?
I don't know if it was her car or not. They obviously had some money at one point,
right.
And but here, $2 million.
$2 million.
I mean, she should have gone. She should have gone to rent a hitman, because if she did, that might have been the one Guido said. Well, wait a minute, maybe I don't report her, and I'll go take the $2 million. Right?
$2 million. Yeah, $2 million's a lot.
That's way.
Yeah.
Weird.
She really wanted him dead bad, right?
Well, and she really misunderstood what his relationship with that person she went to was. If $2 million wouldn't shake the guy from, so she's a bad judge of.
You're right.
She's a bad judge of Hitman.
And she tried to burn their place down too. So I'm gonna do this one, y'all, because this one needs visual aids.
Yeah.
So go follow us on TikTok, Real Life Real Crime.
Visual aids. Well,
you would never think a woman this beautiful would do that. It just goes to show you that.
What does a killer look like, right? I've always said that.
That's right.
Well, rarely. Well, I guess for you, Woody, this probably happens often. But for me, for a story on the show to actually intercept with my life and my family's life has never happened. But it happened over the weekend. This story out in Fort Worth involving a TCU student. So my son is a freshman at TCU right now. And on Saturday morning, my wife and I were awakened early by my son. It's his 3rd week at school. And he told us that a group of them, his pledge brothers, and he were out at a bar on 7th. I really haven't learned Fort Worth yet, but on 7th Street or 7th Avenue. And I guess that's kind of a place where there's a bunch of bars, and everybody's got the fake IDs, so they all, of course, can get in the bars. And while they were there, and actually while one of his roommates was outside, a guy was killed. A student was killed. A member of a separate fraternity than his. The guy that was killed was a Kappa Sig, and my son's a SAE pledge. And but one of his pledge brothers was outside when all of this happened. So of course my son was freaked out. My wife was freaked out, and we dealt with this drama all the way through the weekend. And we were most worried about his roommate, because his roommate's parents were on a trip and weren't able to get to him or be with him. And he was pretty shaken up because it happened right in front of him. So here's the account from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram of this. A college student was randomly gunned down outside a bar in Texas by a shooter who allegedly told police he would have killed others if he hadn't run out of bullets. Wes Smith, a junior at TCU, was standing on the sidewalk near the bar, which is called Your Mom's House, in Fort Worth's West 7th District, shortly after 1 a.m. on Friday night, when Matthew Purdy approached him. Cops said in an arrest warrant affidavit, according to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Purdy, 21, briefly chatted with Smith, who's also 21, before shooting the former football player on the spot. Purdy then fled. Smith was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead at 1:45. And, I mean, there's the Smith kid.
That's crazy.
Smith wasn't the only one Purdy allegedly assaulted. 2 other people told cops after the shooting that the gunman had charged at them and hit one of them in the back of the head. Cops later found Purdy in a nearby parking lot and put him in the back of a patrol car after patting him down. They didn't do a very good job patting him down because one of the officers, however, eventually noticed Purdy in the back of the vehicle holding the handle of a pistol, according to the affidavit. The accused shooter, believed to have hidden the gun in his crotch, had taken apart the pistol and chucked pieces of the weapon out of the vehicle when the officer opened the door to check on him, according to the affidavit. Cops also found what appeared to be fresh blood on a backpack he had been carrying. Purdy, who did not know Smith, admitted to police he shot the victim 3 times in the stomach, in the shoulder, and then once he was on the ground in the back of the head. And he did it, he said, quote, because he wanted to make sure he was dead. The shooter told police he didn't have a clear reason for killing Smith, but the students are saying that that night, the group of people that were around were all saying this was part of a gang initiation for this kid, Purdy, although I haven't seen that in any kind of official capacity anywhere. So he said that he would have also shot a bystander if he hadn't run out of ammunition. Smith is originally from, the kid who passed away is originally from Germantown, just outside of Memphis, was a finance major and a member of Kappa Sig, and a really good kid who had played on the football team his freshman year and decided to devote full-time to his studies starting last year. So Purdy was charged with murder. He had been on probation in an aggravated robbery case already. He was transferred to Tarrant County Jail, and his bond was set at $500,000.
That's crazy.
Those poor parents. I mean, imagine getting that phone call that morning.
Right.
And, you know, I go back and forth with this. These drinking laws at 21, what has changed with college campuses. I don't know the geography at LSU very well to know how far Tigerland is from campus and whether that's just that's a walk, right? For those kids, that's a walk. Well, this place isn't a walk. You've got to get in an Uber or drive there. My son had Ubered over there that night, but it's about as close as anywhere the kids actually want to go where they can drink, because of course they can't drink at the fraternity house, which I don't know. I mean, we got pot legal everywhere in the U.S. and these kids can't have a beer in the fraternity house.
I always said,
they're straying places where
you may not know this, but Louisiana was the last state to change the drinking age from 18 to 21, and they only did that after years, after everybody else, because the federal government finally said, we're going to cut off all your interstate and federal funding if you don't change it. But previous to that, they had made that threat, but Louisiana was making more money off of alcohol sales tax between 18 and 21, but they finally changed it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, when
if you're old
Woody
enough,
and I were that age, it was 18.
Legal. But my motto was, if you're old enough to die for your country,
you're old enough to drink a beer.
Sorry, that's just the way it is.
Well, and look, it was for all of us, it was such a part of our college lives.
Yeah, part of my high school lives.
And we know that it is for these kids too. But yet
thing.
We're forcing them to leave campus to do it. And at least in this case,
I don't know.
Look, I know there's the stats on the other end are, if you keep it at 21, you got less people on the road drinking and you're saving lives. And I'm sure the data supports that, but I don't know.
No right answer. And, wish there was an answer to gangs. And if that comes out to be true, and that's going to be another senseless killing for no reason. I mean, it's a senseless killing regardless, right?
Look, alcohol and guns don't mix.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
And something that you and I mean, we didn't, you threw hands maybe.
Yeah.
I got more bar fights than I can count on fingers and toes.
Shotguns and rifles in my vehicles, but so we could go hunting the next morning.
You shouldn't, never did it occur to shoot somebody. Nope. So just sign of the times, I guess. We're going to take you to Oregon, and the Oregon State Police have apprehended a man who escaped from a mental hospital and stole a minivan while still fully shackled. Yep, you heard that right. Wednesday, August 30th, Christopher Prey was transferred to the Oregon State Hospital, a psychiatric institution in Salem, after initially being placed in custody at the county jail on serious charges that included attempted murder. That same day, at approximately 10:45 p.m., Prey drove off in a white Dodge Caravan minivan and eluded law enforcement in a Dodge minivan.
Yeah,
now, that in and of itself, somebody
Was that an SRT?
When he did that, whoever was the driver of that minivan, he took their job with him.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee you. Now, get this, y'all. He was still fully restrained with leg shackles, a belly chain, and another type of restraint that connected the three together. He was last seen wearing a white T-shirt, maroon sweatpants, and black slides. Law enforcement officials pursued the car, but they stopped due to safety concerns. Apparently, he was flying in that minivan. Yeah. On Friday, September 1st, Oregon State Police announced Portland Fire and Rescue and Portland Police were called to a pond in the area after receiving a report of a potentially deceased person. Fire department officials started communicating with the person in the pond and told police they did not require backup. Now, get this. This is the meat of it right here, y'all. Right. The person in the pond was stuck in the mud approximately 75 feet from firm ground and was buried up to their armpits. Officials
in mud.
In mud. Wow. Basically, this cat tried to hide in the pond and sunk.
Yeah.
And all the way up to his armpits. Officials used a rope and ladder to remove the man from the pond, which took about an hour. He was transported to the hospital and used a fake name, but a hospital employee noticed that the man resembled Prey. The employee called Portland police, who arrived at the hospital and confirmed his identity. He was arrested and placed back in police custody. Prey was on his way back to the state hospital in the minivan from the emergency room due to an altercation with a fellow patient, and one person was injured during his escape. Now, to tell you how dangerous this guy was, he was arrested in April for first-degree robbery and attempted murder for shooting a woman. 11 days later, he actually robbed an auto parts store in Portland and fired a gun. He also reportedly faced charges for assaulting a woman. So, crazy. Dangerous cat. Yeah. Goes on the run in a minivan, jumps in a pond, gets stuck up to his head, and then almost gets out of it using a fake name, except for an astute nurse turned him in.
Where he got the key. So what they're talking about, the other device is, he's got shackles are one, the waist belt with the ring on it, and the handcuffs are two, and then they put that black box over with the keyhole facing in so you can't fuck with the keyhole. So I don't know how he got out. Unless I don't know.
He had to get out at some point because they would have known at the hospital. Wait a minute.
No, he's stuck in the pond. And they would have known when they pulled him out if he had handcuffs and shackles, he couldn't have gave a fake name.
That's right. Yeah.
Crazy story.
Nuts.
Well, I'm going to take you to another crazy story in Caddo Parish, which is right around Shreveport, west Louisiana. And a Louisiana woman was arrested after authorities say she stabbed her grandfather during an altercation over the suspect's personal hygiene. Yeah. On Tuesday, the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office said in a press release that an argument escalated between Carrington Harris, 22, and her grandparents inside a Keithville, Louisiana home after they asked her to shower. She was a little stinky. Soon after, she allegedly began damaging property inside the house and turned off the power. The couple tried to restrain Harris, who then escaped, grabbed a knife from the kitchen, and stabbed her grandfather in the face.
Oh, my God.
Right? The woman's grandfather was taken to hospital for treatment, but Sheriff's Office has not shared an update on his condition. Harris fled the scene after the incident and headed into the woods. She was found a few hours later, hiding by a nearby home. She was arrested on charges of domestic abuse battery and domestic abuse battery with a dangerous weapon. And her ass has got no bond.
Over his hygiene.
Her hygiene.
Her hygiene.
And she was stinky. And you got to really be stinky if your grandparents ask. I didn't get to know my grandparents, but I see how my grandparents are with their 20-some grandkids. Your grandpa and your grandma asked you to shower. You just got a stinky ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
because, they're only good for maybe 2 a week on the showers for grandma and grandpa. So if they think you're stinky.
I mean, it's been hot now, and I get that, but that's crazy.
Let's go to Wyoming. I don't know if we've ever done that.
Pretty country. Pretty part of the
have
country.
one or two out of Wyoming.
Maybe one or two.
I love Wyoming.
Well,
Never been there.
When we think about the homeless situation in the U.S., we usually think about the warm weather cities, the coasts. We know
Austin,
New York's got some, a lot of the Texas cities, but Wyoming isn't a place that conjures up thinking about homeless.
Shit, I'd be homeless in Wisconsin for about 9 months a year because it's so nice, right? The other three, unbearable.
9, maybe 7. I don't know, sleeping outdoors. But approximately 200 homeless people have taken over Casper, Wyoming, and caused millions of dollars worth of damage to a motel and left 500 pounds of feces in the downtown area.
Hey, they were getting some good meals then.
Casper, the second largest city in the state. Largest city?
Oh, I'll tell you, Cheyenne.
Wow, Woody's primed for our game later. He's primed for our game later.
I've been through there.
Good one, Woody.
Second largest city in the state, 60,000 residents. Not a big population in Wyoming. And now it's, I guess, 60,200. Some have seized various properties that are empty or abandoned, including an abandoned Econo Lodge motel that hasn't operated since last November. The motel, which had about 300 rooms, was already closed due to flooding, and that's the hotel that was taken over by the squatters, and they've now rendered it both uninhabitable and hazardous. The flooding was initially caused last winter after water lines froze and then burst, flooding one floor and submerging the electrical switch panel at the Econo Lodge. After the property was foreclosed by the bank, the building was secured and boarded up. But the homeless group broke inside and have now left hundreds of pounds of human feces, which the city has to deal with as part of the cleanup. They've destroyed this business, Mayor Nell said to the Oil City News. It broke my heart to see, noting how he saw drug paraphernalia and wanton destruction of the furnishings. You cannot wrap your head around what has happened to that hotel, he said. City officials admit that they've run out of ideas on how to effectively deal with the growing number of vagrants, and note that fines and arrests do not seem to be working when it comes to sorting out the problem. We know very well we cannot litigate our way or arrest our way out of the problem, but our police need some teeth to start dealing with the squatting. This is Mayor Nell again talking. They're just causing so many problems. In desperate times, people do desperate things, and unfortunately, we're the ones left having to deal with it. The city's mayor suggested that while the homelessness is a complex issue to deal with, many of those who find themselves in such a position are also struggling with substance abuse and or mental illness, and make a point of refusing to conform to the city's rules and laws. There's a certain part of the homeless population, whether substance abuse or mental illness, that is getting them to where they don't want to conform to society's rules or any of the city's rules. When they do that, they're not allowed to go to the shelter, which means they're just out and about in the community. So if they won't conform to those rules, the city won't put them up in a shelter, then they're let loose and they do things like find an old boarded up Econo Lodge and take it over and do all that kind of damage. But it's a large group of people for a city that size with that kind of climate. It's just strange.
I don't know if it's still like this, but back in, I think it's like the mid 90s, they don't have any speed limits on the interstate.
Really?
But between Casper and Cheyenne or whatever, first, two things. One, if you get a sign that says this is the last fuel or last exit for 100 miles, you better stop and get some gas. They mean it, because you got there in this place where you can't even pick up a radio station. But no speed limit on the interstate. No shit. No, it's not everywhere, not in the cities, but like these long stretches of highway. You just
because there's probably
down the trucks. There. I think the trucks were limited to like 75 or 80 back then. But
wow,
yeah, that's crazy.
That is.
But they also had these fences all across these fields. I couldn't figure out what in the fuck are these fences for? Wooden fences, like running for as far as you could see them, but like in not that far apart.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what it was. You know what it was?
What?
Snowdrift fences. So the grass on the other side of the fences, the cattle and shit could still eat. Because the snow got so high. Yeah, that's some of the shit we don't know about here in Louisiana. It's
interesting.
Still 100 degrees outside.
All right, look, this story here is bizarre as well, and comes from North Carolina. So we're going to bring you out to North Carolina for a little while. And an interpreter in the health department impersonated a doctor to sexually assault at least 7 women during bogus home exams.
Uh-oh.
This was a crazy story. The criminal case against Daniel Casazola started in July after a woman told police she received an illegitimate medical exam in her home. Since then, at least 6 more women have come forward with similar allegations against Casazola that spanned 4 months between February and July, and police believe there could be even more victims. He was suspended after the first accusations came to light. He allegedly targeted Hispanic women who didn't speak English.
Right.
We just did a story where, the situation was flipped. It was a guy who was forced to have sex with a couple, but he was an Hispanic who was worried about getting deported and didn't want to report it. The survivors' age ranged between 19 and 32. He allegedly made contacts with these victims, set up what they believe were legitimate home medical exams, sexually assaulted them, and then left. Police emphasize that none of the incidents were rape, but involved other form of inappropriate sexual contact. His victims were all part of a special state-run health program for them and their young children. They believed they were being helped, but instead they were violated in their own homes. This from the police. We still strongly believe there are other victims out there. Other survivors who have come forward would be considered extremely brave. And this police officer trying to push these people.
A culture thing too. They don't want to come forward and admit.
That's right.
Or they may not even.
If they're worried about being deported too.
Yeah. And he actually addressed that and said victims should not fear coming forward. Casazola was arrested and is being held on a $150,000 bond. So probably a situation where this guy got away with it once, then he did it again. And, next thing you know, he's done it 7 times, and they think there's more out there that just have not reported it. And I would venture to say there are.
He
didn't work for that.
No, I think he said he did. It was
so he somehow got a hold of a list.
Some kind of stake.
Right, he somehow got a hold of.
Well, he was an interpreter for the.
So he did. He was working
doctor's office because it said he was suspended after the first accusations came to light.
Yeah.
So he was apparently this doctor's office must have had a influx of Hispanic patients that didn't speak English, and he was just an interpreter for them. But he was going over there, and I mean, it sounds to me like maybe he was, doing. Exams. Yeah, and
let me check you for some bumps.
Which to me that's sexual assault. I don't care if
in the state of Louisiana, if he put on the glove and penetrated him digitally, the rape is penetration, no matter how slight by what. Doesn't say have to be a penis or a tongue or whatever.
That's right.
All right, crazy. Let's take it to a heartbreaking story. A mother convicted in the stabbing death of her 11-year-old son was sentenced this week to 20 years in New Mexico State Prison. On Thursday, Mary Johnson pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the 2022 death of Bruce Johnson. Johnson was initially charged first-degree murder, was also ordered to pay restitution for her son's funeral. At 1 a.m. on July 10, 2022, deputies with the Lee County Sheriff's Office responded to the family's home in Hobbs, New Mexico, after Mary's husband, Bruce Johnson Sr., called 911 to report that his wife and son had been stabbed. Bruce Sr. reportedly told police he woke up to the sound of his son screaming before finding him lying on a bed with multiple stab wounds. He went to call the police when he discovered Mary had also been stabbed but was unconscious in another room. The 11-year-old boy, who was still conscious, was rushed to the hospital. There, he reportedly told authorities that his mother, Mary, was the person who stabbed him. He died a short time later. Meanwhile, Mary was being treated at a hospital where investigators claimed she had suffered self-inflicted stab wounds. She survived and later admitted to killing her son and trying to kill herself. Mary told hospital staff, "If I can't have him, no one can." And according to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Bruce Sr. said he and his son moved from Oklahoma to New Mexico to get away from Mary, who was abusing the boy. Bruce said Bruce Sr. reportedly intended to file for divorce, citing the alleged abuse and claimed that Mary had also been violent with him. The authorities said Bruce Sr. later allowed Mary to stay with them in Hobbs, New Mexico, after she begged to see her son. While there were no reports of abuse or neglect in New Mexico, investigators said at least 2 incidents were reported while the family was living in Oklahoma. Such a tragic event, when anyone, especially a young person, dies, ultimately at the hands of a parent, District Attorney Diana Lucy said, per the Hobbs News Sun, these types of cases are never easy. We can only hope to provide some sense of closure and justice to this family. Thank you very much, but 20 years wouldn't do it for me. But, I mean, I guess.
Well, but he had the sense to get away from her.
Thank God he lived long enough to say Mama did it.
But then, but then took her back.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he's trying to be a good dad and let his son know her mama. I don't know, bro.
Awful.
Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore. Ensure my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later.
Okay, boys. We need to take a little fork in the road here. Been pretty heavy stuff so far. And I thought NFL season opening this week. We had the start of college. We won't talk about the results of some of those games
like TCU
over the weekend. But I have put together a game for us. It is an SEC and LSU football trivia game.
All right.
Got a bunch of questions.
What are the rules?
Let's do it like last time, which is you guys are hitting the table when you think you know the answer to a question. Every one of these questions, until we get to the true or false, have multiple choice. And so if you hit before I finish the question, you don't get to hear who the multiple choices are, and you don't get to hear the end of the question. Okay. If you do come in early and you get it right, great, you get the point. If you come in early and you get it wrong, the other guy gets to hear the entire question and who the multiple choice answers are. Is that clear?
Yep.
Got it.
Okay. Question 1. Who is the all-time SEC leader in passing yards? Is it A, Peyton Manning, B, Drew Lock, C, Danny Werfel, D, Aaron Murray? Jim.
Danny Werfel.
That is an incorrect answer.
Then I'm going to go with Peyton Manning.
That is an incorrect answer.
I was going to say Werfel anyway.
Aaron Murray. Look, one of the things to remember whenever it says all time is did the guy play all 4 years? Because it's a big advantage for the folks that played
Drew
4
Lock,
years. And Aaron Murray was there forever. Well, Werfel would have been there, and Peyton was there
Who
the
did Murray
whole
play
time.
for? Georgia?
Surprising.
Murray played for Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Surprising.
Okay. Who is the SEC leader in single season passing yards? Passing yards in a single season. Is it A, Bryce Young, B, Johnny Manziel, C, Joe Burrow? Jim.
C, Joe Burrow.
It is Joe Burrow. So Jim is on the board with 1. And choice D was Stetson Bennett. Joe Burrow had 5,671 yards in 2019. Unbelievable. Okay. The SEC leader in single season rushing yards. Most yards rushing in a single season. Is it A, Derrick Henry, B, Herschel Walker, C, Bo Jackson, D, Darren McFadden? Jim.
Herschel Walker.
That is an incorrect answer.
Bo Jackson.
That is an incorrect answer. The correct answer was Derrick Henry, who had 2,219 yards in 2015 for Alabama. What a list of running backs, though, out of the SEC. Right. Okay. Who is the all-time SEC leader in rushing yards? Is it A, Bo Jackson, B, Herschel Walker, C, Nick Chubb, D, Darren McFadden? Jim.
Herschel Walker.
That's the Herschel Walker question. Jim now has 2, Woody at zip.
I thought I got one right. Oh, no. Maybe I didn't.
I have 76 questions.
I know, sure.
Plenty of time to catch up. Question 5. The SEC leader in single season receptions, most catches in a single year. Is it A, Jordan Matthews, B, Calvin Ridley, C, Justin Jefferson, or D, Amari Cooper? Woody.
Amari Cooper.
That is a correct answer. Amari Cooper had 124 catches in 2014. Woody's on the board with 1. Right. Who is the all-time SEC leader in receptions and catches? Is it A, Devontae Smith, B, Jordan Matthews, C, Amari Cooper, or D, Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley.
That is an incorrect answer.
Limited it down.
Jordan Matthews.
Jim gets my boy from Vandy. Jordan Matthews is the all-time leader in receptions at 262 receptions during his career at Vanderbilt. Wasn't quite the pro we thought he would be, though.
Did Vandy win Saturday?
Yeah, they played like
But they're 3-0 now.
Yo Mama State.
Aren't they?
Yeah, but they haven't played it. They haven't played anybody. Question 7. The SEC leader in single season receiving yards. So this is yards receiving in a single season. Is it A, Devontae Smith, B, Justin Jefferson, C, Jamar Chase, or D, Alshon Jeffrey?
Jamar Chase.
That is an incorrect answer. Care to take a stab, Woody?
Yeah, I'll go with the other LSU player.
Justin Jefferson, that
That's
would
wrong.
also be an incorrect answer. The correct
So
answer is
Devontae
Devontae
Smith.
Smith at 1,850 yards in 2020. Okay. Last receiving question. Who is the all-time SEC leader in receiving yards? All-time leader in receiving yards. Is it Amari Cooper, Jordan Matthews, Devontae Smith, or Craig Yeast?
I'll go Devontae Smith.
Woody's got one. Devontae Smith, 3,965 yards, so it's 3-2. Okay. We're going to the running games now a little bit. Well, we're moving around here. So next question, the single season SEC leader in touchdowns. This doesn't count quarterbacks throwing. It's scoring the touchdown. SEC leader in single season touchdowns. Is it Trey Mason, Najee Harris, Leonard Fournette, or Derrick Henry?
Leonard Fournette.
That's an incorrect answer.
Derrick Henry.
That's an incorrect answer. It was Najee Harris at Bama, had 30 touchdowns in 2020. Okay. The all-time SEC leader in sacks, most sacks in their career. Is it Jadeveon Clowney, Myles Garrett, Will Anderson Jr., or Montez Sweat?
Clowney.
Clowney is an incorrect answer. Jim, got a guess?
Will Anderson Jr.
Will Anderson is a correct answer.
All right,
Jim
back up
is up
back
4-2. Will Anderson had 34 and a half sacks.
God, that's a ton.
Okay, you guys got pens?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to write
I
this
do.
down. First, I'm going to give you this 4 records of schools, all-time records. And then I'm going to give you 4 school names. You got to match the school to the record. A is a team that went 702 and 318. This is in their history. 702 wins, 318 losses. Team B is 351 wins, 579 losses. Team C has 448 wins and 513 losses. Team D has 660 wins and 334 losses. Your choices are LSU, University of Kentucky, Georgia, and Vanderbilt. Who belongs to what record?
So LSU.
LSU, UK, Georgia, and Vandy.
Okay, I got it. Let's see.
I think they all know Vandy has to have the shittiest record. Probably everyone in Real Life, Real Crime Daily Land knows Vandy would have the shittiest record.
All right.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
So LSU 702 318, Vandy 351 579, UK 448 and 513, and Georgia 660 and 334.
I have the same thing he has, except for LSU Georgia swapped.
You have 4 correct. You have 2 correct. The Georgia has a better all-time record than
You gotta
LSU.
remember all all our
That's
shitty
that
years
surprised
with
me.
Jerry Stovall and all
You
them.
do have some not so great years in there. So Woody gets
that's surprising.
4, and Jim gets 2, which ties us up.
Because we
at
forget about
6.
all our shitty years with Jerry
Yeah.
Stovall.
6-6.
And
Okay.
Bernardo.
Question
Obviously
15.
won a couple.
This is a tricky one. These are 2 schools, or which of these combinations of 2 schools were in the SEC for more than 30 years, but left the conference in the 1960s? So you're looking for the multiple choice that has 2 teams that were in the SEC, but left in the 1960s. A, is it Sewanee and Georgia Tech? B, is it Tulane and Louisville? C, is it Florida State and Louisville? D, is it Tulane and Georgia Tech?
Tulane. I'm sorry, guy.
Jim got first.
Tulane and Georgia Tech.
That would be correct. So Jim goes up 7-6. Tulane and Georgia Tech. And I was surprised. Georgia Tech had a pretty good record while they were in the SEC, much better than they've had since then. Since 2000, Alabama has won 6 national championships and LSU has won 3. Which of these schools has not won a championship since 2000, or not won a championship in the 2000s? A, Oklahoma, B, Florida State, C, Auburn, D.
Going Florida State.
That's an incorrect answer.
I would have thought that too.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not saying that now. Finish out the options.
Crab Legs won a national championship. And D, Tennessee. Oklahoma, Florida State, Auburn, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee has not won a
say.
championship in the 2000s.
That
So
would've
Jim
been
is up
my guess if I had
8-6.
listened.
So Jameis Winston won one from Florida State. Auburn, you have Cam Newton in 2010, and Oklahoma, you have to go all the way back to 2000, but they won in 2000. Question 17. LSU's worst season since 1975 occurred in 1992 when they went 2-9. Who was the coach of that team? But Jim.
Jerry DiNardo?
That is an
Damn it.
incorrect
It was
answer.
the one right before.
I had season tickets when Jerry Nardo was there.
Their choice-
I know who it
your-
is, but I'm going to listen to the
Your
choice.
choices are A, Mike Archer, B, Jerry DiNardo, C, Curly Hallman, or D, Bill Arnsparger.
Oh, that's going to get me. That,
I know.
give me the choice again minus DiNardo.
Archer, Curly Hallman, or Bill Arnsparger?
It's either Hallman or Archer.
You got to pick one.
I'm going with the third one.
Hallman is a correct answer. Curly
about
Hallman,
Curly.
2-9 in
Brett Favre,
1992.
former college coach.
How do you go 2-9 at LSU?
Look,
Yeah,
and
you don't say that a
a
lot.
Southern Miss guy that got that job because Brett Favre was his quarterback.
Yeah.
And he won all these games, and he ended up beating Auburn or something. And
I guess he didn't have Brett Favre in 1992.
he did
Okay, next question. The all-time LSU passing leader, passing yards. Okay, which quarterback's thrown for the most yards all time for LSU? Is it A, Joe Burrow, B, Jamarcus Russell, C, Tommy Hodson, D, Jeff?
Tommy Hudson.
I knew you were going to say that.
Wow, Woody. Yes,
Tommy
it
Hodson's
is
still battling
Tommy
his local,
Hodson.
and I need to get this
Bit his
helmet
tongue
signed.
off
Yeah,
in the
I need to
game.
get his-
Remember that?
He was there for the
It's 8-8. We have a tight match here. Okay. The LSU single season leader in passing yards.
Joe Burrow.
Woody, quick to the trigger. It is Joe
5,239 yards.
5,671. Well, that includes bowl games.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
What a season. Wow.
It was 15-0, right? Yeah. Next question. Who had the most passing yards in a single game in LSU history? Was it A, Joe Burrow, B, Rohan Davey, C, Matt Mock, or D, Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus Russell.
Incorrect answer.
Rohan Davey.
Rohan Davey, who I never,
I got his helmet signed too.
I never heard of Rohan.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah,
Play for the
yeah.
Patriots in
Yeah,
the NFL.
Not for long, but he did.
No, but he was
That
was there.
one shocked me.
He
Okay.
was a huge dude too.
Yeah, he was huge.
Okay. Most career passing touchdowns at LSU. Who threw the most touchdowns in their career at LSU? A, Tommy Hodson, B, Jamarcus Russell, C, Matt Mock, or D, Joe Burrow.
Jamarcus Russell.
That is an incorrect answer.
Tommy Hodson.
Believe it or not, it's Joe Burrow.
No kidding.
2 years.
2 years.
And really 1.5 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is amazing. 76. Okay, that's the only. Is that the only one that nobody got? Okay, we are at 10-8. Is that correct? Woody has 10.
So
Jim
more,
has
if I don't
8.
get it, then I'll lose.
We've got 4 more and then a bonus question. Okay?
All right.
So we're on question 22. Most career rushing yards by an LSU player.
Kevin Falk.
Woody opens it up to 11.
Got his helmet signed too, baby.
All
Real
eyes
Real
on
crime
3.
headquarters, right?
Is
All
Kevin
eyes
Falk.
on 3.
Falk him up, baby.
Fuck him up.
Other choices were Dalton
He was
Hilliard,
good, man.
Leonard Fournette, and Darius Geis.
Opelousas guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Most rushing yards in a single season for LSU.
Fournette. Sorry.
Woody is
tied it up.
Mr. LSU. God.
Just tied it up.
Okay. Well, let's see if you get this one. Most rushing yards in a single game. A.
I already know this.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
I'm going to wait for it.
Dalton Hilliard, Tyrion Davis-Price, or Kevin Falk? Jim.
Kevin Falk.
That is an
Dalton
incorrect
Hilliard.
answer. No, it is this guy, Tyrion Davis-Price. 287 yards.
I don't even know who he is.
Oh, you guys are going to have to Google him. Last question. Woody has one, though. Who has the career receiving yards record at LSU? Is it A, Justin Jefferson, B, Josh Reed, C,
Josh Reed.
Josh Reed,
Josh Reed was a
3,001
stud.
yards.
Yes, he was.
We
He
have
played
found
for DiNardo, too.
we
No,
have
not
found
DiNardo.
Woody's
Yeah, for DiNardo.
trivia category.
Independence
It is-
Bowl.
It is LSU.
I got his helmet
trivia.
signed, too. So,
Okay, just for fun, let me see if you guys can how you guys doing this. Match the mascot to the school. So I'm going to give you 4 mascots.
that's easy.
And then 4 schools. Red Raiders.
Texas Tech.
Wait, gotta get
No, I'm going to get them all right, so it
Okay.
doesn't even matter.
Aztecs.
New Mexico State.
I would agree with that.
Cardinal.
Louisville.
Louisville.
No, Louisville's Cardinals. Cardinal.
I didn't know there was a difference.
That's Stanford. Stanford is the Cardinal.
Really?
Stanford
Huh, I
Cardinal.
didn't know that.
This one no one knows. Come on. Blue Hens.
Fucking no idea.
It's got to be something like Kentucky State or some shit.
Delaware. The Delaware Blue Hens. But yeah, a lot of people. Stanford confuses the heck out of everybody because they're the Stanford Cardinal, and then they have that stupid tree.
Yeah,
you ever seen the tree?
Yeah. I have seen it.
That makes no sense.
My head, yeah.
The tree is not a cardinal.
Maybe the Cardinals hiding in it.
Where the hell did the tree come from?
Maybe the Cardinals.
Nobody knows, and they don't claim the tree as their official mascot. One last stupid one on true or false. Is a Nittany lion a real animal?
I'll say true.
I would say true.
False. There is no such thing as a Nittany lion. Nittany Mountain is the mountain that overlooks State College, where Penn State is, and so they took the name of the mountain and named themselves the Nittany Lions.
Interesting. Good one.
Woody, the man on LSU trivia. Wow, that was
What was the final score?
It was, I think, 13-8. I mean, he was.
LSU.
No, wasn't that
LSU.
bad.
Yeah, no, he was rolling. Yeah, 13-8.
Damn.
LSU.
You fucking whooped my ass.
LSU. Trivia.
I had season tickets for years and years. Now,
So did I.
Now I sit in my bar with all the signed helmets and our Real Life Real Crime headquarters.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Rohan Davey got it.
yeah, big old Rohan.
And who's the? Oh, Tyrion.
He was,
Tyrion. Something.
Price.
What,
Somebody Price. I got to
that's
look
the
him
single
up.
game record. We're gonna have to look.
It must
at
have
that.
been like a
Clyde
homecoming
Edwards
game.
Moore.
They put it in the backup or something, and we don't know about it. Because I know every running back, great one from LSU.
Yeah.
There were a lot.
Tommy
of
Hodson,
great ones.
Tommy Hodson, I know you're in Baton Rouge. I need your helmet signed for my collection.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Oh, Mile High Crime Time. And we're going to take a good one today, folks. Security escorted 2 Air Canada passengers off the plane after they refused to sit in a seat someone had vomited in. This, according to a woman who said she was seated in a row behind them. Passenger Susan Benson said she watched 2 women and a man struggle to get seated on a flight from Las Vegas to Montreal. Benson wrote in her post that she noticed a bit of a foul smell, but hadn't realized where it was coming from. She said she soon learned someone had thrown up on a previous flight. Air Canada attempted a quick cleanup before boarding, but clearly wasn't able to do a thorough cleaning. They placed coffee grinds in the seat pouch and sprayed perfume to mask the smell. The passengers in front of Benson told the Air Canada flight attendant that their seat had residue on it, but an employee said the flight was full and they had no other option. The flight attendant was very apologetic, but explained that the flight was full. There's nothing they could do. The passengers said they couldn't possibly be expected to sit and vomit for 5 hours.
Right.
Benson said the flight attendant returned with the supervisor, who essentially told the passenger the same thing. The employees did give the passengers blankets to sit on and more wipes to clean the seats.
Yeah, I thought you did another story about they got some blood or some shit and they gave him something to clean. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm not paying me touching that shit.
By the way, half the flights.
I know you're not done, but
half the flights from Vegas to Toronto or Montreal have people puking on them. I mean, you're leaving Vegas going to Montreal.
Well, Benson said that after the passengers had settled in, the pilot came down the aisle and calmly knelt down and told the two ladies they had two choices. They could leave the plane on their own accord and organize flights on their own dime, or they'd be escorted off by security and placed on a no-fly list because they had been rude to the flight attendant. The passengers seated next to the women got involved and told the pilot they weren't being rude. The pilot reportedly returned to the front of the plane, and security guards escorted the woman off. Benson stated that she complained to Air Canada and posted about the incident on the social media pages she has. I have no idea if they were actually placed on a no-fly list, but I cannot stop thinking about these two ladies. They really did nothing wrong. So, yeah.
Yeah, I hope they
Pilot came down and said, I'm going to pull rank on you.
Justin Trudeau Airlines.
Yeah, so that is your mile-high crime, and I can't blame him. I wouldn't want to sit and puke.
No way.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Yeah.
It is mile-high. No, kinky
Crime.
Crime.
Kinky Crimes time for Wednesday, y'all. This was a little bit different. Most of ours are really funny. This one kind of funny, but not really. A Florida couple landed themselves in jail this week when things got a little too hot and heavy atop a soccer mom-style coupe, which was unfortunately still for sale in a West Palm Beach dealership lot. The incident was reported by a now scarred witness who said he could both see and hear the magic unfold in the top of 2004 Kia Sedona inside a car lot. The couple did not react kindly to the accidental audience member and began yelling at him when he was spotted. So he was like watching and they didn't like that. By the time police arrived, the amorous couple, who have since been identified as Aaron Bird, 18, and Raymond Mitchell, 29, have retreated to the inside of the van, despite the fact that it did not belong to either of them. Police said that the 300-pound Mitchell spit in the face of Officer Sarah Burgoon, one of the arrested females, as the couple was taken into custody. Burgoon was forced to report to the nearby St. Mary's Medical Center and get checked out from biohazard exposure. Both members of the couple were charged with lewd and lascivious behavior for the romp, as well as with trespassing and auto burglary due to the fact that it took the place inside an auto lot. Mitchell, who told police he works at a local improv comedy club, was additionally charged with felony assault on law enforcement due to the spit he hurled in the face of Officer Bergen. And y'all, he remains in custody. She's out. The owner of the lot said they did not have permission to be in there, and we don't know if they're going to get a mark down on the newly christened vehicle. But the spitting in the cop face, that happened to me before a couple times, and I don't like it because you don't never know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
like if they test you for AIDS up to 5 fucking years later.
Well,
one day we knew we were going out on for Tangipahoa Parish, and I told this on one of the stories. We knew he was a spitter. They put that in your arrest record, and we knew he was a spitter when we went out there. He was a runner too, so we snuck in from the woods from the backside from the interstate, and we're laying down. He was working on the vehicle underneath the shade tree, and as soon as it was a long drive, he saw him coming in. He just dropped his shit and jetted right into our arms, right? And we had to fight him. We got him down, and he went to spit, and we didn't have one of those net bags for the head, so we duct taped his whole fucking head.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Well, I wonder
got in
if
trouble for that too. By the way,
I wonder if that crime is going to become a trend with Kias so easy to break into. People going to Kia lots to get romantic.
Well, and the amazing thing, the guy was 300 pounds in a Kia having sex. That's what blew my mind about the whole thing.
Actually, a good ad about the roominess for Kia. They should use that. Yeah. Plenty of room inside. If you're 300 pounds, you can have sex comfortably.
That's it. So that's your Kinky Crimes.
Kinky Crimes for Wednesday. Banjo time.
Going to the Cornhusker State for this one.
Nebraska.
Rarely are we
Big
there.
deer. Somebody might be deer hunting up there.
The Lancaster, Nebraska Sheriff's Office recently released body cam footage showing a deputy pulling over a suspected drunk driver. The video released Thursday includes audio of the unidentified drunk driver calling 911 and telling operators, somebody's driving on the wrong side of Highway 77. He had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road, the drivers heard telling operators. That was gnarly. He almost killed me. That was like a lot, the driver said. The sheriff's office video shows a deputy driving on the highway, hoping to catch up with the wrong way driver when he spots someone driving the wrong way, but in the opposite direction the 911 caller had given him. The cop is able to catch up and pull over that driver. And he asks the driver, do you know why I stopped you? Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road. I must have missed an exit. The sheriff's deputy then asked the man whether he was the one who called 911. And he says, yep, because I thought someone was on the wrong side of the fucking road, bro. But it turned out it was you. Yeah, like a dumb fuck, the suspect admitted. The sheriff's office said that no one had been injured during the incident. The 911 caller's blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit. He was arrested according to authorities. Additional deputies will be on patrol during the Labor Day weekend, the sheriff's Facebook post added, so stay on the right side of the road. And if you're driving on the wrong side, probably shouldn't call 911 blaming it on other people.
Dumb
criminal.
Dumb Cornhuskers.
All right. That's going to be a wrap for today.
That's a wrap.
A wrap?
Rescue.org. Ourrescue.org. See something, say something, stop human trafficking. We love all you lifers. Please continue to like and share us with everybody and continue to help us grow like y'all been doing. You rock.
Mike, anything?
Hi, doggies. Hi, puppies. I'll see you later. I'll be home soon.
You get bit on the ear later.
If I'm lucky, I'll get bit on the ear
That's
later.
Right. We'll work on those roofies with Miss Sherry Ann, but you can't even get those on the darknet anymore.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame what the world's come to.
Just give her
She could take an Ambien or something. Ain't no telling what might happen.
She might feel it if she's on Ambien, though.
I think you use the Ambien in defense.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.
Aglets.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.